In this video, we're going to discuss what features are available to you as an MLS user logging into your ShowingSuite.com account. I'm going to go over what this looks like from inside the account, all the features available, and I'll point out whether these are available to free MLS users or MLS Plus subscribers. So within the account, you can get here either by going to the dashboard link on the front page of your MLS, or if you go to app.showingsuite.com or www.showingsuite.com and then click login, this will take you to the login page where you can get into your account. If you've never done this before, you may not have your login password yet. Just click the request MLS access and you'll be prompted to enter in your email, and we will send you your password. Your username will usually be your email, so just enter that in along with your password and click login. Usually you'll be prompted when you log in of any new alerts, specifically if your listings are missing any seller information. This is available for seller information is available for MLS Plus users. We'll go over that a little bit later. Right now I'm going to skip past this. This will take us to the dashboard page. This is the portal that kind of shows you what's been going on in your account and also gives you quick links to different areas. So on the left side, we'll see these listing agent quick links. We can click on each of these plus signs to see if we have any unconfirmed showings, if we have any pending feedback requests, any confirmed showings, any feedback responses. And then we can also see if we have any unanswered feedback requests for the buyer agent version, as well as any latest changes in your listings or any leads that have come in if you're using a lead form. On the right, there's an account completion percentage. This will just generally list some pages you've not been to yet and ask you just to go to them to give them a quick look and see if anything needs to be adjusted on them to complete the creation of your account and make sure everything's set up to your needs. And then the quick tools on the right side will just list some functions that you can do within your account and just provide the easy access to those pages. So if you need to schedule a showing, you just click this link here. It will take you to the appropriate page where you would do that. So let's get started. We're going to look at My Account first. This is if you need to make any changes to your account, including the name on it, or the email address, or the password. So if we go to the View Edit button here, this will allow us to change any password. If we need to change our billing details, that'll be available on this page after clicking Billing Details. So next up, we're going to click on the settings. This is contain areas that will help us complete the any defaults on your account or anything of that sort. So on this first page, the user settings, this is where you can set up the signature that's going to send out on your emails, as well as upload a company logo and agent image for those emails. Those will be available for MLS Plus subscribers. On the View Edit button here, we're going to go over some of these options. I'm going to skip a few of these that won't have too much of an effect on your account and go over just the most important ones. So the first one is feedback settings. This is available for MLS Plus subscribers only. This allows you to change how feedback is managed in your account, what forms we send out, what kind of a questionnaire we send out, how many requests and how much the frequency of those requests are sent out. So following any showings or when your lockboxers are accessed, we're going to be reaching out to feedback for you. This is where you can determine how often we'll do that and how many times. You can tailor the email forms to fit your preferences. So we'll have the emails here. You can go to the Actions button on the right side. If you want to preview what those look like or change them in any way, you can go ahead and do that. We allow full customization for those outgoing emails. And then below that, we have the questionnaire that is sent to all agents who show your listings. If you would like to make any changes to the question that gets sent out that would go across all of your listings, you would make it in the settings menu. So we have the 7-question default. This is available again for MLS Plus subscribers, and anyone who shows your properties will be sent one of these to answer. And then again, MLS Plus subscribers will share that with your seller, so that they are also getting the feedback required to make necessary adjustments like price reductions on the listing. So we'll go back up to the View Edit button, and we will go to Showing Sync Settings. This is where your lockboxes are set up. If you use electronic lockboxes, we provide you with the ability to sync your showings into our system. So even unscheduled showings that don't come from the calendar, we will still pull those in and follow up with a feedback request. So under Electronic Lockbox Provider, we just select either CentralLock or Supra, or our 2 supported electronic lockboxes. There is, and then here your listings would be on this table here, and you would just enter in the lockbox number that is assigned to that listing. We have an option for a default showing frequency. This prevents too many feedback forms to going out to agents who are doing repeated showings on your listings. By default, this is set for 7 days. So you may want to set this to a shorter if you want agents to be getting more feedback requests even when they've done repeat showings on the same house, or longer if you'd like to not bother them too much on the same listing. And then finally down here you can alter your notification preferences. So you can ask our system to notify your seller when new showings are imported from the lockboxes, notify you when new showings are imported, and there's an option to not send yourself a feedback request if you access your own lockbox. Normally we will send a feedback request if we see anybody access the lockbox. So if you don't want to get your own feedback requests, you can disable that here. It's important to note that there is an external step that's required in Supra and CentralLock to sync in your lockboxes. So you will have to go in and adjust your Supra and CentralLock account to forward emails to us. Once you've saved the page, it will tell you the instructions on how to do that. So just read these instructions here. It's a very simple 3-step procedure. You just put in an email to forward to, and then once you've done that, we will be receiving emails from CentralLock and Supra on your lockbox notifications, and we will sync those over. We also have a video for both Supra and CentralLock you can watch that will show you how to do that. So back up to the View Edit button, we're going to go over the Showing Robot settings. So this is also an MLS Plus subscriber feature. We allow you to set a number that if you enter in your area code here, we're going to produce a number for you. Any agent that texts into that number and texts show to that number is going to be able to go to an online flyer of your listings, be able to schedule on those listings, so they'll be able to do it on their phone at any time. You can put like a sign writer out in front of the house just saying text this number to show. They'll be able to text into that number and schedule a showing on it. Here's where you would set up your contact preferences, so how you would like to be contacted about any showings that are made this way. We would just import your email here, and you'd also enter in what phone number you'd like to be notified through texts, and then how you would like to be notified. We'll do both email and text, and you can order those. So if you want to get a text first, and then if you don't, respond back by text within a few minutes, it'll also shoot you an email, or vice versa. And then also adjust your seller's method of contact. So we will also be reaching out to the seller by email and text, and you can set which of those you would like. We also have reminder options, so we'll shoot out a text 20 minutes prior to the showing to any parties who you specify, or in these time increments as you specify. And you can alter the reminder message that gets sent to your seller, so you can make sure to word that how you would like it. And then you click Save once you're done with that page. Alright, so let's actually get into the account proper. Oh, real quick, there are two other things we should know up here. The request a feature. If you are using your account, you find a specific area you think that our service could be improved, click request a feature. That'll take you to a form where you can send that to us, and we are happy to review any of those requests. Some of our best features have come from requests from customers, so we appreciate any feedback you give. And the help link, if you're unsure about how to do anything in your account or need to contact a support representative, click there. It'll take you to our knowledge base and also to the customer contact form where you can reach out to us, a support agent here who will be happy to assist you. So if you've done any scheduling on the MLS through our system, you're going to have a buyers tab here. In that buyers tab, we're going to record all of the buyers you have set up there, as well as provide you information on any of their showings. So let me go to a buyer we have used quite often here. So you can select their name off this drop down. You can also select them from the list here, or you can just search them in the search bar. Then we want to, if we want to see past showings we've done, we're going to filter, say the past 30 days. Let's actually extend that to the next few as well, because we have some upcoming showings with this buyer. And that's going to give us a list of all upcoming showing appointments, what their status is, any past showing appointments, we'll be able to see those. And if you have any questions that you've asked the listing agents from within your MLS scheduling pages, those will be available here as well. Alright, let's head over to the Listings tab. Listings tab is probably the most important page of your account if you are logging into our service. This is where all of your listings are managed, as well as how you would manage showings, the calendar, that kind of thing. So we have two listings in this account. We can see the difference. One of these has an exclamation mark. This means it's missing a seller. If you are an MLS Plus subscriber, you can add a seller onto your listing, and this will allow us to interface with that seller, to send them feedback, showing appointments and such, so we can keep them notified of any showings that are occurring. They can be a confirming party on that if you want. They will also get any feedback if you specify them to receive feedback that comes from the agents. Since we are connected to your MLS, we should automatically be syncing listings from your MLS. There is an option to add a listing. If for some reason you have a specific type of listing that doesn't normally import, you can add it manually. That'll take you through a 4-step process to get the listing added. Only takes about 5 to 10 minutes, so it's not too much of a hassle to do that. That can help you cover like specific listings that might not show up in the MLS or might not import through our system. Alright, so on these listings there are 3 buttons to the side of these listings: the listing actions, showing actions, and calendar actions. We'll go over each of these in the drop down and the options available in. So the first option, seller details, we're actually going to go to this listing right here. Since it doesn't have a seller on it, we're going to go to the listing actions, and we're going to enter a seller here real quick to make sure that that seller is getting feedback. So this will take us to a form where we're going to fill out a seller. Alright, so we've entered the first name, last name, email, and if you wanted the seller to get mobile text messages, if you have that set up in your showing robot settings, you can go ahead and enter in their mobile number here, and that will interface later on when we set those up if we need to set up some text messages. There's an option to send the seller a welcome email. Checking this, once you've saved the page, we'll send the seller an email letting them know who we are, what we do, and how to access their account. And then we enter in their account details. So every seller has an account that gets opened up with us for free of charge for them. That will allow them to log in and view their feedback at any time, or view any upcoming appointments or tasks you have for them. The username does have to be completely unique in our system, so if you have a seller named John Smith, that's probably already taken. One thing I do recommend is entering in the address as your username, but remove all spaces and punctuation if there is any, and that should be unique enough to kind of get it past any previously taken usernames. And then the password can be whatever you'd like as long as it's over 6 digits long. So even something just like password would work. There's some communication settings at the bottom. You can authorize the seller to send feedback requests. This is generally for specific brokerages that have a specific relation with their sellers that's different from the norm. This is always unchecked by default. Don't worry about this one too much unless you are one of those very specific circumstances. The notify seller when new feedback is received option, that will check the seller to get feedback whenever we get it from the agents. Otherwise, we don't send anything to the seller. You have to pass all that on to them. The next two are non-response notifications that go to the seller and to you whenever feedback is sent out and we do not get a response back. You can option to screen feedback before it gets sent to the seller. So this is an advanced feature if you want to review feedback and then give the approval before the seller gets it. Check that. The market showing statistics comparison, we collect stats from your market and we'll display it on stat reports and such, saying you know, houses in your price range generally show this much, this often, have this many days on the market on average. It's just some comparison stats that are all internal, you know, for your sellers to check out on stat reports. And email feedback statistical reports. If you check this, it's going to let you set up a monthly, weekly, or daily stat report that gets sent to the seller. That'll let them know what has happened in on their listing in the previous however many days you specify. So weekly would be the last 7 days, any showings on that 7 days, what the responses were, and all that. And you can send those to alternative emails if you'd so choose as well. All right, and everything's filled out, so we're just going to click Save here. And we have successfully updated that listing with a seller. So once we go back to the listings page, that seller is now going to be on our listing. If we click Email, it's going to open up an Outlook form, so you can go ahead and fill out an email to them. It can be a really quick way to just send your seller an email message. All right, so next up, we're going to look at just a few of these other options. I'm going to skim over a few of these because actually, since we are connected to your MLS, a lot of these get filled out for you. So listing details, this would just be your general like listing address, price, and all that, imported from your MLS, so you don't even need to look at that really. Listing images, again, import directly from your MLS. We import up to 8 listing images, and those should be pulling over. Listing documents is the page you want to visit if you have any specific documents that need to get sent out on the confirmation emails that go out, inspections, stuff like that. This will let you upload documents onto a listing that get included on all of the scheduling emails that get sent out. The listing log lets you set up tasks on the listing or put up notes about things that have gone on the listing that you want to share with your clients. The MLS confirmation settings, this is accessible through your MLS account, but it's also here if you want to view this, and we're going to just take a quick look at what this looks like. So your MLS confirmations will be how we basically confirm any showings that are scheduled. You get to choose if notification confirmation is required, yes or no. If you do require some notification or confirmation of showings, by default, listing agents always required to approve by email. It will send out an email whenever an appointment is scheduled. They have to approve it, and then the showing will be approved. But you can also set up a text message. So if you want to be notified when a showing happens by text, you just have to check that box and then fill in your email or your text number. You can choose if you just want to be notified instead of confirmed, so that'll just make it so that our system just lets you know, but it will auto-confirm unless there's another party that has to confirm, so you'll be kept in the loop. As a listing agent, you're always a confirming party or a notified party. There's no way to just take yourself off this completely. You always want to keep the listing agent informed of what's going on in their account. And then we can add other parties. By default, if you're an MLS Plus subscriber and you have a seller entered, we're going to also run this by the seller. So we will inform the seller by email. If you want to click text message, you just have to fill in their phone number, and then that will allow us to send text messages to them. After you've set up your seller to receive text messages, they will receive an email asking them to text start to a specific number that enables our system to send them text messages. We can't send unsolicited text messages out, so that just gives us the A-OK to send your seller texts. Of course, if we don't want the seller to approve anything, we can just click remove confirming party, and that will just remove them from the whole process. If we have like an assistant instead, we can instead add another confirming party. We'll say select other, and you just fill in their name, their email, if you want them to get text messages, and whether you want them to confirm or be notified. You can also set up conditional confirmation parties. So say a buyer agent, I want this party to be notified if a buyer tries to schedule. And if you do that, it will only send confirmations if it's a buyer that's scheduling to this party. And you can tailor reminders to go out to specific parties as well. Below here, we've got some options on other calendar options, other approvals, so what the appointment duration is. If you want sellers to be able to add or edit block times, we'll go over block times in a little bit. If you want you to show your listing calendar as pre-booked, this will just book random time, so it looks like the listing's maybe a little bit more busier than it is for showing agents. And then setting up default reminders for any of the parties that you want. And finally, personal calendar syncing. This will just allow emails to they will if you have calendar syncing enabled, this is again for MLS Plus subscribers, these will link up to any synced calendar. So if an appointment gets scheduled on this listing, it'll automatically show on your GCal, iCalendar, Outlook calendar. All right, we click save if we wanted to save any changes here. All right, there's also a separate, if we're back to the listing actions menu, there's a separate option for text to show. So if we click on text to show, it actually looks very similar. It's just that the confirmations are handled a little bit differently, whether it's scheduled on your MLS as opposed to text to show. So if we do have text to show enabled, anybody who texts into this number is going to get its own, you can send in some specific instructions for agents or sellers. If you need to enter in a lockbox number, this would normally go in your MLS, unlike in your instructions. But since this is an alternate option, we enable this to be added here. And then in all other ways, it pretty much just works like the MLS confirmations page. We use the confirmation parties from your MLS confirmation page. All right. So let's head back up to the listings tab. And instructions and directions, so normally we import these from the MLS as well if you have specific instructions, but we also have a separate area within the Showing Suite account for specific instructions and directions. Again, this might tie into like text to show appointments, or as we'll go over a little bit later, if somebody's making a manual appointment within your Showing Suite account, that would show up there. Tasks is tasks you can share with your seller to set up, like we need to fix up the say bathroom, here's this task, here's an end date when we want it due, and it'll send out like regular emails to check up on how that's going. And then there's an option to delete listing. We highly advise you don't delete a listing. It's best just to let it classify into another status. If you do delete a listing, it will disappear from your account and any saved data would be lost. So I highly recommend you don't do that. Alright, so the next option is the Showing Actions button. So a lot of the Showing Actions button is only available to MLS Plus subscribers at this moment. There is going to be some feedback options available for MLS Free, but you're only going to be able to view feedback as the MLS Free. For MLS Plus, all of the other feedback options will be available. So there's an option to fill out a request feedback form. This is if you have a feedback, you had a showing, it wasn't recorded for one reason or another, we didn't follow up on feedback for it, maybe because it was an open house or just something that happened, someone came up and wanted to schedule on the spot and you approved it and they just did it without it getting recorded. You can request it manually here. It'll just have you fill out a form that has you fill in the agent's information, when they did the showing, how often you want the showing request to go to them, and all that. And then this will send out the form. You can also enter the response manually if you have the person there with you or they've called you up. After you fill out the form, click Enter Response Manually, and that'll just take you to the questionnaire where you can fill it out yourself with their responses. The next area is View Edit Showings, so I'm going to go to this really quickly here. On this menu, we will have recorded all of your showing feedback. So we have 3 showings here. 2 of them have been responded to. 1 is pending and is awaiting response. If we go to the Actions button, we can see some options here. If we get them on the phone, we got their response, we can just enter the feedback from the agent here, and that'll just allow us to fill out the form. The reason you generally want to fill out these forms if you've gotten a response directly is because this gets included on all the statistical reports that get sent to your seller. So it's really helpful to have as comprehensive a database of feedback as you can, just your seller seeing everything. For any of the responded feedback on actions, you can view the response. So let's go and just take a real quick look at what the response is on one of these. It'll give us all of their information, and then it will give them the responses they've given. So including if they've, number 2 here, what do you think of the price? It'll tell us by what the above market value, and it'll say what price they thought it was above market value if they've responded to that. Alright, so let's go back to the showing actions to look at the other options here. So we have a View Statistical Report option. This will pull up a page with a report on all of the showings that have been collected. So we can see some of the other stats around here too. One cool thing is it will actually average out the above market value response. So anyone who has responded that your listing is above market value, if they filled out a price they think it's above value, this will just average that out for you so you can see and present that to your seller, and that's generally a pretty convincing number. And then you'll get like bar graphs of, or line graphs of all the responses, so you can see it's pretty neat, like graphical representation. You can also set up some reporting options if you want to send a, again, monthly, daily, or weekly report to go out, so you can see these. You can print the reports at any time if you just want to present that to your sellers. We also have a seller report option specific, and that cuts out some of the details that would normally be present in these stat reports, because a lot of times the stat reports contain things like, they'll usually contain the buyer info and some more sensitive information, so the seller report cuts all that out. Okay, back up to the listings tab. So we have an e-blast option. Again, this is available for MLS Plus. This will allow us to reach out to anyone who has shown one of your listings in the past, and we have some predefined templates that you can send out that allow you to inform them of like a price reduction. So this will allow us to add anyone who has shown the listing in the past, and then we can fill out a contact form, and again we might have like a listing, a change on the listing, or if it's back on the market or closing bids, anything you want to put in here, you'll have an email ready for you, and then you can send that out, and that'll just shoot out to everybody. So it's a real time saver. All right, you can also add showing agent incentives. This is a quick blurb that gets added to the end of the feedback request that will just, we usually advise this if your feedback's maybe a little bit lower and you'd like to increase it. This will allow you to add an incentive program that will maybe encourage more agents to respond, something like a gift card or something. This is, we come with a bunch of templates on this, but this is kind of up to you if you want to do that. And then the question templates allows us to adjust the questionnaire that goes out specific to this listing. So if you have a questionnaire or a seller that has a very specific questions they want answered by the agents, you can kind of adjust that manually, and that'll only affect this listing. And the last button we have here is the calendar actions button. This is related to appointment scheduling. So there are a few more advanced scheduling settings you can do here. If you want to, you can schedule a showing directly through our system rather through the MLS. If somebody's called you on the phone, they want to schedule a showing. If you have an assistant or something who's doing this, they can go here and click schedule showing. That's going to open up a form where you can fill in the agent's information, any defaults you want to set up for the appointment, like the duration, how you want the when you want the appointment to happen, stuff like that. And then you would fill out the contact info. And if you have already had an appointment scheduled, you can actually select the agent in the from your contact list here. And this will allow you to kind of skip past this form. You just select the agent's name, and it will auto schedule that showing with them. So that can be a little bit of a time saver. So back to the calendar actions, we can also view any pending showings. So if we have people have scheduled showings, we still need to approve those. Those will show up here. You'll get alerts of these when they happen. That will direct you to this page, but you can go there by clicking this link. Every listing has a calendar internally that you can view through, and this will show you any pending appointments or confirmed appointments. We don't have anything on this calendar right now, but they would show up as a time. So for instance, if somebody's scheduled from 1:30 to 2, it would show up from 1:30 to 2 and colored whatever the, if it was passed, it would be blue, unconfirmed red, and confirmed would be green. Okay, we can edit blocked times. So blocked times are, if we want specific times people cannot schedule on this listing, we have to set that up here. So we'll go in there real quick just to show what this looks like. Basically, you set what time or date you don't want people scheduling. If we don't want people scheduling ever on a Sunday, we'll just select Sunday, click blocked entire day, and we can set this recurrence to be daily, weekly, days of the week would be, so you can set this up so it repeats on certain days. When you want this to end, if you would like this to only be for a temporary thing, I want Sundays blocked out for this month, but next month I want the showings to be able to continue on that. So this adds a lot of flexibility, lets you add some notes to see what's going on that time. Or if you just don't want people, say, scheduling on, say, around a specific time frame, you can do that as well. I don't want people to schedule from 2 until 5, but I want people to be able to schedule around that time. That would be a way you can do that as well. Alright, and so that covers everything on these buttons. So we're just going to really quickly go through these tabs and show you a few of these things and what they can give you. The showings and calendar are just the listings tab, but ordered different ways. So you can order like the showings tab and just see if you have a ton of listings, you just like to order it and see what you've been getting feedback on recently. You can order it by like last feedback request sent, and it'll pull up with the latest feedback activity at the top. Calendar, same deal, except for it's just ordered things by appointments. So you can go through and set, when was the last showing date, and I want that at the top of the page. It would order it for you. In the surveys tab, this is where you can set up customer surveys that go out when a house goes off market. This can be handy if you would like to get some feedback from your clients about how you did, or if you're an office and you are collecting this kind of data from your agents. As an office account, you would have access to everybody's surveys. By default, we send out a simple customer service or a customer contact survey when the house closes, but you can actually set up and create your own surveys in here and send them out for any reason you want. So that's a little bit more in-depth. There's a separate video for that if you're interested, which you should find on our channel. The reporting tab lets you get information from your account on statistics and what's been going on. We have a few categories here like top showings that will let you see if any recurring showings have happened by specific agents a number of times. You know, if someone's been showing your house is a lot, maybe you want to reach out to them and partner up or something like that. And showing list lets you clarify, I want to only see showings on listings within a specific price range, or I want to see this agent's showings and see what their responses have been, and it'll pull up with whatever you've designated in the table here, and you can view those responses or you know, organize those specific ways. We have a full contact list that is available for you. We collect contacts as your account functions. Anytime you enter a buyer, a seller, if somebody schedules an appointment or enters through your lockboxes, we're going to record that data, and that'll be available for you here to reference at any time or to pull out if you need. So that can be really helpful to have this contact list available. And the final tab here, resources, is material for presentations and stuff that you would want to bring to your clients when you're doing presentations and say, hey, we use this service called Showing Suite. This is what we offer. They give you feedback, a seller login, lets you always keep up to date on what agents are and their buyers are saying about your listing as they're doing showings. And this is why this is going to help you sell your home faster. So these will just give you a lot of material for your presentations if you want. All right, and that is the extent of this demo we're going through right now. I really appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, please contact support@showingsuite.com, and we will be able to help you out with any questions you have. Thank you. Have a great day.